Um, for I looked in the Bible, and there are 35 Bible verses advising us to love our enemies, even through persecution. Apostle Need, you say, as followers of God, we have to love persons even when they aren't lovable. Luke 22, verse 34, and Acts 7, 52 to 60 says that we are to pray for our enemies even though they killed both Jesus and Stephen. They both prayed, "Forgive them, Lord, for they know not what they've done," and not to hold this sin against them. Luke 6, verse 35. But love your enemies, as your reward will be great, and your son and will be sons of the Most High, and you will be sons of the Most High, for he is kind to the ungrateful and the evil. Yet, we as Christians hold on to offense, bitterness, and unforgiveness. We want to forgive others, but we expect God to forgive us. In Genesis, when God commands the Messiah to be able to come to the earth to remediate our rebellion from him, we rejected God's kingdom, yet he loved us enough to bankrupt heaven for us. When he commands us to love, what does it mean? In Greek, love is agapan, which means unconditional love. If we establish a relationship with God, then we must love our enemies unconditionally. Unconditional love is the highest form of love and charity. It is love of God for man and of man for God. It transcends and persists regardless of circumstance. Agape was used by early Christians to refer to the self-sacrificing love of God for humanity, which they were committed to practicing towards God and each other. Martin Luther King Jr. says, agape or love is disinterested love. Agape does not begin with discriminating between worthy and unworthy people or any qualities people possess. It begins by loving others for their sake. Therefore, agape makes no distinction between friend and enemy. It is directed to both. What advice does the Bible give on loving our enemies? In Colossians 3, 1 to 4, since you have been raised with Christ, set your hearts on things above. This means to count it all joy and focus on whom sent you out. Persecution is made for your benefit. Proverbs 14:29. A heart at peace gives life to the body, but envy rots the bones. Just as the prayers start with us, so does forgiveness. We must get rid of the notion that if we keep loving our enemies, they would begin taking advantage and making us look soft. Remember, if you choose to hate, you are simply hurting yourself. If we are to be the salt and the light, we must be able to forbear. That's all I have.